Hello, my name is Levittown, and today we're going to discuss about the racial segregation, which occurred in the event of the Myers family moving into all-white suburb in Pennsylvania, which was Levittown. Okay, so the first question that we have here explaining how the events in the video reflect what was happening in the country during the 1950s, including laws and change in public institutions. Okay, so a little bit of context. In 1950s, we were entering a new era after World War II. Of course, many white families took the advantage and created their own suburbs, the little towns, with, of course, their own system and already their dynamics to sort of have a privilege and inner circle into like being closed. So that's why they were like kind of harsh if any foreigner, of course, with the mindset that they had at that time. But specifically about the laws and change in public institution, I found out that in 1954, if I'm not mistaken, there was a Broader B education, Broader and Board B education, if I'm not mistaken, which was a Supreme Court decision to ban forevermore public school segregation. What's that? Segregation is like setting apart whites from blacks. That was the United States had a system where the white school will be on one side and the black school on the other side, and there was a segregation. That's what is defined. In other words, that was not permitted anymore. But the housing discrimination or the housing segregation was not actually backed up by laws at that time. So we have this sort of context, and the Myers family moved into this town, of course, with the mindset of just doing what they wanted. If you feel like it, go ahead and move. For example, let's say the next question, is discuss some of the most compelling arguments made in favor of the Myers family moving into the Levittown suburb. Okay, I have two arguments, concisely because they have the legal and moral right to do so. In other words, or simple words, because they wanted to, and because they feel like it, they're American, they have that right, and they can move to whichever country, whichever town, or whichever city, whichever state they want. They want it, and if they feel like moving to Levittown, Pennsylvania, they can go ahead and do so. That's their right. And of course, doing this moving and this sort of sudden change had its backlash, which was sort of like rallies or discrimination attitudes towards them, of course. But at least that's my argument, of course, because many laws of segregation were put onto the Supreme Court and actually accepted as a law. So of course, if they feel that laws are backing them up, of course they're gonna make a decision. So changing for the life. And we have the question number 3, discuss the arguments opposing Myers moving to this predominantly white neighborhood. Okay, some of the arguments that people, the white, used in this video, of course, sort of like an interview format, where that they were gossiping and they were saying it because they didn't know much about that theme specifically. What all of them said become factual, become true. That's what, at least what the video stated. And for me, the most compelling arguments against Myers' inclusion, it was because they had like this dynamic, of course, all whites, all unified, and a foreigner coming in. They were kind of scared of their mindset and of their perception of what a black was. Another argument that they could have was that a black house owner would decrease the house price just because being black, which was totally spoken from a point of ignorance. And for me, that was sort of what I get from the video when I investigate a little bit on the internet, and that's what I get. So yeah, that's my discussion.